And welcome back to ComputerWise. George Roberts here. And my guest joining me tonight from Acronis Software. We've got Chris Miklovich. Chris, great to have you on the program.
You as well. Thank you very much.
And also Brent Stevens.
How you doing?
With Acronis. Both of you guys made it here from Boston today. We really appreciate that.
In one piece.
You did, yeah.
Barely.
Not a bad ride, though, right?
No,
Weather was good, no snow.
Was.
You know, we picked it right. Tax day.
And the Sox won. So.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, we won't tell you what territory you're in right now.
Yeah.
So, okay. Anyway, we're going to talk about Acronis. Let's find out, first of all, on the, in this next half hour, we're going to be talking about what you guys do with backup and recovery of data. But let's find out what Acronis is. What is it, the company? What do you do?
Sure. We're the developers of backup, disaster recovery, imaging, and migration solutions.
Okay.
And basically, if we rely so much on our applications and data this day and age that if this machine were to go down, there's a couple of things that go through your head all of a sudden, like, oh no, like today's tax day. Let's say you waited like myself to the last day to do your taxes. You get home tonight and your machine's down.
Right.
And there goes all your information.
Right.
Okay.
That's the biggest problem that people have, is that they think that that's going to last forever. I mean, hard drives, what do they last? 3 years? I mean, 4 years, if you're lucky. Maybe if you get 5, you'll be really.
It's a huge misconception, and the numbers are staggering on people that encountered hardware failures out there. And even when it comes to the big boys that make these machines, in God we trust, but everyone else we should double check. And that's what Acronis is all about. We're going to show you about that today. All
right, very good. We've talked before on the show many times about we put all of our valuable photos and everything online.
Absolutely.
We don't back up anything. We don't even make CDs of some of this stuff.
Right.
And we really need to come up with a procedure, and some of the things that your company makes allows us to do that. So why don't we address, first of all, the home viewer with their home PCs and the things that they can do with something that you have called True Image Home 2009. Now, what exactly does this do, and how does it do it?
Well, essentially, it's an image-based approach to disaster recovery. We pride ourselves on the ease of use of the program to be able to back up your software, or your files, and everything that's on your computer in an easy and dependable way. We want you to be able to have confidence that you're able to actually back up everything that's on your computer and restore that information, because that's what it's really all about, is being able to restore your information. And if you have confidence of being able to restore your information, you're going to want to back it up. Okay. And we make that very, very easy.
I know that many times in the past with the operating systems, it was never really easy to back up things. They said, oh, you can click on this, you can click and back up. And this, I think, really it takes it to that level of ease that everybody really needs. And now, with this particular software, you mentioned imaging. What exactly, it's in the name, True Image Home 2009, but what is imaging? So people know at home.
Imaging is essentially taking a snapshot. That's exactly what we do. We take a snapshot of the disk. Mm-hmm. Okay, the entire disk and everything that's on the hard drive, the hard disk, and everything that's on the hard disk, and we essentially create a file out of it, and that's exactly what it is. It's a file. That's all you're creating is an image-based file, mm-hmm. which essentially is just a bitmap. If you open up let's say Paint, and you open up something within Paint, you're going to open up a bitmap. Essentially, that's exactly what it is. We're taking a picture of your hard drive.
Okay. Now, when we're doing a backup like this and creating that image, are we putting it onto like another drive or something else so that if the main hard drive went down, we were able to recover that?
Absolutely. You can actually store the file anywhere. It's essentially a file that's exactly what it is. It's a file. You can take that file and you can drag it to a removable media. You can put it on a disk, CD, ROM, a DVD. You can put it on. We also have what's called a secure zone that gives you the ability to save your entire information to a hidden partition on your hard drive. Okay. That gives you the ability to, if something happens to your computer, to roll back your system to the last backup that you have. You essentially reboot, press F11, go into the restore process. So essentially you can store that file anywhere you like.
Mm-hmm. Now this is different than just taking like a DVD and say, okay, I want to back up like my documents. So I'm going to just put everything that's in my documents onto that DVD, because now I'm putting all individual files when I do that. That's not what this is. This is works a little differently.
That is correct. Essentially, what we're doing is taking, let's say, my documents. We're taking all that information and we're putting it into one file that is actually compressible, and you can actually compress it with our software, and you can take that file and store it onto that DVD. Now you can take multiple versions of that particular backup, whether it be from this day, tomorrow, the next day, or last week, and put it on the DVD in a logical format, and be able to restore from that information anytime you need to.
Now, what do you think of what would you tell us are the best features of this particular program?
The best features are the ease of use, first and foremost. Okay. Secondly is actually being able to restore very fast. You're actually able to, because you're restoring, that's what you're doing, is restoring a file. You're restoring all your information very quickly. Mm-hmm. It's fast, it's dependable, and it's easy to use.
Great. All right, let's take a look at it. We have it on the screen here now. This is the Acronis True Image Home 2009. And this is what we would see when we open the program, right? The first thing it says, what would you like to do? You want to do a backup of the data, manage tasks. Well, what would be the first thing that we would want to do?
Well, now it all depends on exactly how you want to set up. And what you want to back up. Now, if you want to run a task that repeats, let's say daily, mm-hmm. you would go into your task management.
This one here?
Right.
Okay.
And then you'd create a new task. And you would select the dates, and you would select the time and the schedule that you want that task to run. And then you would select exactly what you want to back up.
Okay, so this day is highlighted, so that's today. Say we want to do something tomorrow. We would click on tomorrow, yes, and begin to put together a task.
Absolutely. Now, if you already had a task, now you would see at the bottom of the screen it says no items displayed. If you already had a task created, you would be able to actually go ahead and see all those tasks that are listed in there.
Okay.
Okay. Now, if I wanted to create a backup, then on my left-hand side, I would actually click on Backup and Restore.
Okay.
All right, and then select what I want to back up. Since we do support backing up my computer, which is an entire disk backup.
Wow.
You can back up your entire disk, and you can pick and choose if you have multiple disks on your system, which disks you want to back up.
Right, which we do here. So we could choose which ones, we could check which one to check we want it.
Absolutely.
So if we want to do all three, we could do that.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, and then what you can select here is you can back up it sector by sector, and backing up sector by sector requires more space simply for the fact that you're backing up the entire disk, including the swap information.
Okay.
Okay. Now, if you're just doing a backup of unallocated space, mm-hmm. okay, then all you're doing is you're backing up just everything that's in the used space region. Just in the used space region. Right. The other stuff is not getting backed up. Right, exactly. But we will keep in mind the partition table of that hard drive. So when it comes time for you to restore, whether you're restoring to a different hard drive or the same hard drive, you're able to restore in a logical way. Now I see that it's opened up what's called a backup wizard. So I guess this is pretty easy. May I go to the next step here? Correct. And everything we have is wizard driven. Okay. Create new backup archive, add to existing backup archive. So adding the second choice would be like cumulative? Is that what would happen? Absolutely. So if you have a backup